Inspired action is a buzzword these days, and it's one of the most enigmatic and misunderstood phrases in the self-development space. And people tend to become paralyzed just sitting, not doing anything, for fear of doing it wrong. Today I'm going to demystify the phrase inspired action, and we're going to talk about how to differentiate inspired action from what I call grasping, which is just action. It's not hard, but it takes intentionality. So at the end of 2023 is when I realized that for the last 15 years of my life, I had been living without intention. I had not taken any inspired action because I had ignored what I really wanted. And I had had enough of that at the end of 2023. And I decided in 2024, I'm going to figure it out. And so to give you a little bit of background here, I was originally from my first bit of adulthood, I was a full-time musician. And I was in lots of different bands, and I wrote songs and played music and all of that stuff up until about my early 30s, which is where I found myself just so tired. And it was an endeavor that was fulfilling at times, but ended up sucking your wallet dry. I mean, there's nothing harder than keeping 5 guys on the road and feeding them and housing them and all of that, and trying to get each show you play to actually pay for the amount of money you had to spend that day, gas and all that, getting people to shows. But anyway, all to say, it got really tiring. So throughout that time, though, my 20s and some of my 30s, I had been learning music production just because I was a musician, recording my own records and stuff and recording friends' records. And so I went full-time into music production. And that was at a weird time to do that too, because that was at the very beginning of all of the ending of the music business as we knew it. And the music business hadn't found its feet again. So I'm watching work dry up all around me and trying to just still do the work. And I living near Nashville, I knew a guy who had won a Grammy for being an audio engineer on a record. And he got some really good pay for some of the jobs he did because of that Grammy. There's this kind of cachet. That's kind of how the business worked. And when he went to work for Apple, I went, oh my gosh. Because I had never garnered any kind of payment like he had with his Grammy. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall with that. And I had another friend of mine who had left the music business and was now an insurance salesman. So he offered it to me, and I decided to try my hand at selling life insurance. That was a terrible, terrible mistake. One of the worst of my life. You know, some people take to sales well. My friend did. He did really well in that environment. I did not do well. And I was grasping. I was basically, the last 15 years of my life up to the end of 2023 was just, how do I provide for my family? How do I provide for my family? How do I provide for my family? Where's the next bit of money? The next bit of money. That's all I ever thought. It's all I ever thought. So consequently, that insurance thing in my 40s and stuff created this decade in my 40s that it is the worst decade of my life. If you had to split my life up into decades, the 40s is the decade that sucks. In fact, I turned 50 only 8 months ago, and it's already better than my 40s. So, there I was. At the time in the insurance thing, I was in Oklahoma because I was going back and forth between Tennessee and Oklahoma to try to stick a claim sort of in Oklahoma for my company that didn't have a large presence in Oklahoma. I was going to try to be a star, the insurance salesman star for Oklahoma, just as I had tried to be a star when I was playing music. Didn't happen in either case. So I was sitting in this parking lot in Oklahoma at the end of my rope. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take all the money that I was spending. I had sold my house to make money on the equity, to put more into the insurance business, trying to make it work. And I lost it all. Came back home with my tail between my legs. Not very much money in the bank anymore. Sat in my office for almost 2 months, basically just my head in my hands, crying, hoping, wishing, which, by the way, is not inspired action. hoping and wishing will not get you what you want. My wife came in and very gently said to me, in about 6 weeks, we're going to be out of money. I just wanted you to make you aware of that. I know you're trying to work it out and work through this. She was very kind to me, but she said, we're going to be out of money. And I knew it. I didn't want to face it. So during that time, interesting how life works, along came a guy who I had produced a record for years before, and we had remained friends. And he called me and said, I want you to be my full-time video producer. And I told him no, because I was at the lowest point in my life. I did not believe in myself at all. I thought there's no way I can do a good job doing video production for him because I'm awful, right? Maybe feeling sorry for myself, maybe not, probably. In any case, I told him no 3 times. And 3 times he came back to me and said, no, you're the guy. You are the guy. He wouldn't take no for an answer. And I always talk about it like this. I picture myself in quicksand up to here. And he reached down in that quicksand and he pulled me up by my shoulder and he just lifted me up and put me on the ground with this job, offering me this job, forcing this job upon me is what he did. And I'm grateful for it. So I've worked for them for over 4 years. But here's the thing. The problem with it is that it doesn't answer the cry of my heart. And it just barely gets me by. So Dan Koe, you should look up Dan Koe on YouTube, K-O-E. He is brilliant. One of the things he said that really stuck with me was, the only way out of selling someone else's product is to sell your own. I could not believe how true that statement was. All this other time that I've been working in music production, my first job out of high school at Sam's Club, selling insurance, even doing my video production job that I currently do. These are all selling someone else's product. And I realized that I want to sell my own product. I just don't know what the product is. But I know who I am and I know what I want my life to look like. So I'm taking inspired action. This video is the beginnings of me taking my inspired action. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look around you right now. Just see all the things in your life. See how your life is. And I want you to realize this all came out of you. I know that some of you might be like, oh no, this is about law of attraction. Look, I don't care if you think of it as law of attraction, if you think of it as metaphysical, if you think of it as spiritual, if you think of it as religious, if you think of it as hustle and grind. I'm just going to go out and I'm doing what I do because that's what I do. I don't care how you view it. I only care that you understand the mechanism that happens. It doesn't matter why it happens. I'm a curious guy. I like to dig into why it happens. Maybe it is any of those things. I don't know. But here's the thing. We don't have to talk about that. You just have to know that what is around you in your life, what you're looking at, that all came out of you. This is the life you chose for yourself. Take that responsibility. Understand that that's the case. Be intentional about where you're going and what you're thinking of. That is what is inside of you, what you're looking at right now. Your values, they're all in front of you. The things you don't like, they're all inside of you. The things you do like are also inside of you. You see what I'm saying? It all comes out of you. It all starts with you. So there's hustle and grind all the way down the gamut to the law of attraction. Doesn't matter what you think about any of that, really. All that matters is that it's true. On some level, some way. Who you are is right in front of you. That's the life you created. Whether it's through this or through that, doesn't matter. Or that, doesn't matter. So we have to accept that. Okay? Knowing this, this reminds me. So there was this comment I saw. I don't know how many of you know The Secret. It was this law of attraction book and movie that came out a while ago. And it's basically, it focuses a lot on you send out your vibration to the universe saying what you want and you get it. It didn't talk a lot about inspired action. I don't really remember it very well, if at all. But even the Bible says faith without works is dead. I mean, It's an important concept, inspired action. That's why I made a video about it. But there was a comment on the video that said, all these people in The Secret, I don't know about you, but have you ever noticed how hard they work? They're like the hardest workers I've ever seen in my life. Of course they're successful, right? Super funny. So, but that's the thing. That's why I say hustle and grind looks very much any action, grasping. Me doing life insurance, it was super hard. Worked a lot of hours. It looks like inspired action. How do you tell a difference? Because you're not enjoying it. It's not filling you, it's emptying you. That's what inspired action is. So to figure out how to take inspired action towards something, look around you, see what's around you, because all the tools you need to begin are with you right now. There's nothing that you don't have that will enable you to begin moving toward your goal in inspired action. Think about that. That's why I'm making a video. Because I'm a video producer for a living, dude. So what's right in front of me, a way I can take movement toward my inspired action toward my goal, is to make a video. Because I know how to make a video, right? Is that where it will end up? I don't know. Will I monetize something and create a digital product like I've seen other YouTube creators do? Probably. That's what I'm thinking right now is, yeah, I could do that. Let's go meet everybody and see what people need. Maybe I can create something for them. Because I know that I love transformation. I love watching people transform for the better. I love heart-to-heart communication. I despise small talk. I love telling stories, right? So it makes sense that I would make a YouTube channel. Now, is the YouTube channel the business? I don't know. Is that what will enable me to sell my own product and not someone else's? I don't know. But I do know that it's what's around me that I can begin moving toward my goal. But it's like bumpers on a bowling alley, right? The bumpers allow the ball to always get to the end. And even though I know the end that I want, I don't necessarily know how to get there. But the bumpers, maybe YouTube is just a bumper, boom, and I knock off of that. And maybe I hit another bumper and it's public speaking. Boom. Maybe I hit another one and it's writing a book. Boom. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. But I know what I want. And once you know what you want, whatever gets you excited to go forward and do in that endeavor is what you need to go do. That is inspired action. Give it time, think through it, but don't just sit there for months and months and months. Don't do that. Begin to move toward it in whatever way is in front of you that you can. Start there. And if it turns you on, like making this video for you is for me, it's inspired action. All those people that guy talked about in the Secret comment on YouTube about The Secret, of course they work hard because they're taking inspired action. They love what they do. They're doing what they love. Oh, all these little sayings, love what you do and you'll do what you love, or do what you love and you'll love what you do. Love your work by doing work that you love, right? This all sounds like a pipe dream. It's not. And now is the greatest time in history to have so many options to be able to do it. And I've just been sitting here hoping and wishing and longing for something outside of myself to give me something that would turn me on and inspire me, instead of looking inside myself, figuring out what turns me on and inspires me, and then moving toward doing that. It starts with you. With you. Right? You don't have to know the how, you guys. You just have to start. You have to know where you're going, what you want it to look like, and then you begin to move toward it. And those bumpers, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make yourself look like a fool. Those were my fears doing this, putting my face on camera on YouTube. I'm genuinely scared, to some degree, of comments that might hurt my feelings, because I don't know what to expect. I don't know. But my desire to be my authentic self and to do something with my time that matters to me is so much greater than selling someone else's product. I have to do it. Even though the product that I'm helping sell, the company I work for, is a wonderful, wonderful company. I have to do it, guys. That's why I'm here. I hope that this has given you some insight into what is inspired action. If you have a problem knowing what you want, that's a whole different issue, and that comes before the inspired action. So my next video, we're going to explore how to know what you truly want. I'm going to have some tools for you guys to use to be able to really know beyond a shadow of a doubt what you truly want and desire for your life. I wish you all the best. Don't forget, it starts with you. Love you guys. Thank you.